The collusion delusion is over. The special counsel completed its report and found no collusion and no obstruction. I could have told you that 2.5 years ago very easily.
In Grand Rapids, Michigan, celebrating his vindication by the Mueller report. The speech went about an hour and 20 minutes, wide-ranging as always. Funny in parts, bellicose in others. Author and columnist, and probably our all-time favorite guest, Mark Steyn, joins us tonight. He's been watching for a reaction and recap to what we just heard. What do you think, Mark?
Well, they're ending, as always, with "you can't always get what you want," which should be the new CNN and MSNBC theme tune after Robert Mueller managed to nuke collusion, as it were. You know, Tucker, you've been through some tough times, I've been through some tough times, and there are times when you actually want to have just a good old-fashioned gloat fest over your slain enemies. And in fact, if anything, the president was rather restrained. Apart from some references to pencil necks and little schleppers, he was actually rather restrained on sticking it to the enemies he managed to vanquish after these
but you can sort of
long
picture
years.
him with his, boot on the chest of the vanquished and a mug of meat in hand, howling at the night sky. I mean, that's what that was, wasn't it? I mean, that was...
Yeah, there was a part of, there's a part of it that was like that. You know, I have to say, I won't bore any of your viewers, but I had like a terrible day holed up in a courtroom today. And when I came out and your producer said, you got to watch this Trump speech, it starts in about 10 minutes, I was thinking, oh God, I just want to go to bed. It's actually fantastic. Within about 15 minutes, I'd forgotten this lousy court business and I was howling with laughter. The President of the United States has developed a totally unique rhetorical style that connects with live audiences. He says things, when he says things that nobody else on earth could get away with saying. When he's talking about the elites and he goes, I've got a bigger, more beautiful house than they have. When he says, I love the Great Lakes, they're great, they're big, they're deep. Amazing deepness. It's actually, I've heard serious so-called intellectuals at the New Yorker and New York Times and so on mock it, but it's actually a unique rhetorical style that makes every other politician just seem fake and boring, and he's got that going for him on the eve of the new presidential season.
Well, so that's what I was struck by as well, the references he made to that season. I mean, he seems all in, to me, to run again.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that he enjoys it. And I think he in a sense, when he attracts your attention, as Elizabeth Warren did, basically, the minute he's settled on you and he has an attitude on you, it's like he's running around in your brain all day long. So he's standing up there. Elizabeth Warren was taken seriously as a prospective presidential candidate 2 years ago. He's there, he's doing his Pocahontas gags, he's regretting that he mocked her too early, so that his insult has knocked her out of the race. You've actually got to be pretty cool to be able to just stand there and do that. And you can see the relish that he's having in coming up with a perspective. You've already seen it with the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and when he says you won't be able to watch television because there'll be no wind that night, and then he adds, I know a lot about wind. A cryptic remark, I felt.
I'm not sure what that meant, but I loved it.
I know, and the fact is, I've heard people say, well, this isn't a speech. He's not talking in sentences. No, he's not. He's actually just riffing on the day's news. And it goes back to the very first time I saw him live, where he came out. It was about a week before Iowa and New Hampshire in 2016. He came out and he did everything you're not meant to do. He had no message discipline whatsoever, and he just riffs on the news, and he's actually funnier than late-night talk show hosts who've got 200-strong writing teams. And he's just standing there doing it, and it's natural to him.
It's unbelievable. Mark Steyn, welcome back from court. Never plead to collusion. That's my advice.
No. I think collusion is a word that he actually drove a stake through. Goodbye, collusion.
Mark Steyn, thank you.